We
This is
changed.
the weirdest intro of all time.
Yep. One of us
Coming
changed
at you
clothes.
live. This is just, we need Brian in his late night radio show voice.
I could just like put in a picture of Brian so people like don't forget him since it's been a while.
What, you gonna put it over my face?
No, I just do like
In memoriam? Like, what are we doing here?
Tonight we're going to review a bottle. We're a little behind. We apologize. But, you know, it takes a while to ship samples, things like that. We are going to do Larceny Barrel Proof batch B522. And to be honest, I'm just going to blame this on Heather because we can't do a Larceny review without having her.
I was just gonna say, I'm glad I was invited for this
on the channel. Yeah. Because if you've watched the channel at all or pay attention, Chuck just poo-poos Larceny. He's like, it's not good. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm like, some are good, some are bad. And Heather's just like, Larceny's freaking amazing. So we'll see what we think of this one.
Well,
have
just
we
the
actually
barrel
reviewed
proofs,
a Larceny on the channel?
Yeah.
We have?
reviewed it. Well, you
I don't-
had it in your lineup for your 30
Yeah.
choices.
Well, that was
that you had to
your
make your top 10.
right. That was your
in best
special
of
Larceny
whiskey last year.
Yeah. That was her special You Do Bourbon Larceny, but I'm pretty sure we reviewed A122. I think we did a review of the original and we all was just like, oh, this is terrible. Like we would never buy it. So
Boys, this nose is delicious.
see, we're already running out.
This is great.
I mean,
It is. Yeah. I'll give you
that's
that.
a very nice nose. Yeah. So,
Toffee,
TJ was a bit
caramel.
harsh there. Like, I just haven't had a Larceny that I've tasted where I was like, I just want to go out and buy it.
Fair enough.
Especially the barrel proofs are highly sought after. So initially it was like, I just bought into the hype and then I tasted them. I was like, yeah. Although I think it's this batch that everybody has said is just phenomenal. And
Yes.
I haven't had Heather, you had the You Do Bourbon experience.
Correct.
Which might have been different, right? So
Yeah. I mean, I remember when it first came out, it's relatively new. I think it was just last year or 2 years. I don't know. COVID just messes with my
Perception
of time. But anyway, it's been within us doing this channel that the original Larceny Barrel Proof came out. And I remember everyone being so excited about it, trying it. And it was the biggest disappointment I had ever had at the time. It even went on our list of like top disappointments for the year. I put that on there. I remember that. But they have been getting better and better each and every time. So
This is good. There is toffee. There is a creamy hazelnut. This makes me think of when you get that fancy flavored coffee. Now, there's not a coffee note in it, but you know what I mean when you, especially when you're used to drinking black coffee all the time, and then you have that like flavored coffee, and you're like, whoa.
I was gonna
There's-
say, good flavored coffee. Does it even taste like coffee anyway?
Right. No, it does not. But I'm just getting this creamy hazelnut toffee. Oh, deliciousness. I really like that it's sweetness without being sweetness from sugar, if you know what I mean. Like it's not your brown sugar and honey. It's these other things that create sweetness. And I like the creamy texture. This is really good.
I like I am picking up a little bit of like aged oak on the nose.
yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, it's like a silky. It reminds me of a Werther's Original, but they have Werther's Originals that have chocolate coating on them, or chocolate Werther's Original, and that's what this is. It's got a little bit of the chocolate, some caramel, and it just silky smooth, melts in your mouth, liquidy goodness.
I don't get a lot of chocolate.
I don't
But
know.
I get a lot
But
of
that's
I get a
all
lot of that was just like light sweet notes. Honey. I get some. I like what Heather said with like hazelnut sweet, because there's like a little bit of an underlying nuttiness there. And this is the From Heaven Hill, the weeded mash bill.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's coming in at 123.8 proof. So getting up there.
It does not drink like that, though, to me.
No, not at all.
I am getting a little baking spice on the finish here on the back. I wish there was a little more. I'm not gonna lie. I want a little more spice.
That's kind of what I'm missing. Although even as it dries on your tongue, I'm left with a little bit of the baking spice and also a little bit of oak.
Yeah, and you're left with the tingle on the sides of your jawline, but there's no flavor. So it's kind of weird. Like, you had something, but the flavor's gone. So
It's probably some of that drying effect, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and it's lacking
like
the rye
kinda
grain,
taking it
right?
away.
So it's not giving you the rye spice, the black peppers, that are typically going to be dominate a finish, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, because the finish is still flavorful. It's just not. It's not spicy. It's not tingling. It's not. Which sometimes I think we equate. Well, we convolute two things on the finish. I say we, the bourbon community, we proof and just like rye spice. And we just associate those things with good finishes, which I don't, that's not necessarily true. This is lacking both of those things to a great degree, but has a good finish.
It's good. Should have bought a second bottle.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think it's like, you're proud to have that thing that's unique. You're going to savor it while it lasts, but then you'll find the next thing that'll kind of take that place.
C922.
Yeah, sure.
So,
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think this is quite good. I don't know that I'd say maybe I am a Larceny believer. I'm a believer. I'm just not I'm going to be happily drink TJ and Heather's Larceny.
I was going to say, you're going to be a try it believer.
Try it believer. Yeah.
I'll try it.
We that's the beauty of our channel here. We each have our go-tos. I got my barrels over here, my over my shoulder, the Bardstowns. I'll let you guys have the Larceny and the Bookers. Although some of those Bookers are,
which is is what I was just thinking about. Larceny very much reminds me of Bookers in the sense that some are just absolutely amazing, and some you're just like, okay, like. That I truly feel like Larceny and Bookers are the same in the fact that you're getting a really good one or you're getting a mediocre one. There's no like in between. There's not like you never really get like an absolute terrible one, except for like the first few Larceny Barrel Proof releases. I think they've finally got their stride. They know what they're doing. But you can get some that you're just like, Now the difference is Larceny's like $60 opposed to Booker's is now up to $100. So you got that going for you, but we can recommend B522. I can't recommend all of them.
Yeah. And I still think, just to go back a little bit, I mean, I've heard multiple people, put this in their best of for 2022. And it came out a little early, so maybe, they would change that at this point. I don't think it's that category for me. I think it's a very good bourbon, but not best of 22 caliber for me.
Best of. Let's think of all the bourbons that I've had so far in 2022. Let's see here. It's October. Yeah, I've had a lot so far. Do I think that this is one that sticks out and is super memorable? Probably not, actually. So it probably wouldn't make my lineup.
Yeah.
If you force me to pick some top ones. But it's still good.
It's very good.
The tough thing is like, how will you know unless you taste it whether or not it's going to be a good one? So then you got to rely on channels like this one to tell you in a review whether it's good or not, and then you can go out and find it. But yeah, it's kind of a mystery in a bottle. So
yeah.
Anyway, we recommend this one.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I would. If I found it at MSRP, I would buy it. I did buy it.
Well, so we were comparing this to Booker's.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a little info. So about the blending process on this one. Because Booker's, we know they pick out like just a few barrels and they know exactly where they come from. and they put a lot of effort into how they blend them. So what's going on with these? How do they get all of the Larceny bottles?
Just a couple weeded barrels, blend them together to a profile they like, and then that's what it is. Nothing as crazy as Booker's. So.
There's no like honey spots that they know, like, oh, in that corner, that's going to be
because
Larceny barrel.
No, because their really good weeded stock goes to Old Fitzgerald. So this is kind of like lower quality weeded. Well, I mean, not lower quality, like just not the flavor profile they're looking for other things.
So do they kind of do what Buffalo Trace says, which is there's just somebody that tastes it and then they decide like, oh, this is and this is
so
next tier down.
Yeah, so it's a group of people. It's called, they do sensory panels. You could actually apply for that job if you wanted.
Panel.
Yeah, and so they put like, you get, I don't know, like 50 people together. They go into a room and they've just got all these things and you just taste them and it's like, is this Larceny? Yes or no? And you say yes or no, and then it's something like 98% of people have to agree, and if it is, then that's what it is, and so that's how they do it.
Mm-hmm. So I take it then there's a ranking for the different brands that they have.
What do you mean?
Decide like what goes in what category, or are they looking for certain flavor
profiles? Especially things like Larceny and everything else that they like. Every time you taste a Larceny, it should taste somewhat like this. That's what they're doing.
So that's why they are similar.
Yep.
Because I do get similar notes every time I have one of these Larcenys.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have you picked up Larceny Barrel Proofs? I know we're putting this video out late. You might have picked up a C922. What did you think? What's been your favorite Larceny? Or have you just been like, not for me? Because I know a lot of people like that too. But we'll see you next time.
Stay
Cheers.